what's up, everybody? You're listening to the Game Moose podcast. I am here live in the studio with Brock McLaughlin, Brynn Pottie.
Hey.
We are we're Ryanless today. This is weird. This is a weird intro. We've never done it like this.
We're also not live, you liar.
Well, we're live. We're live human beings.
We're alive.
We're not broadcasting live though. No.
No, we're not live.
We should be live though.
No, I don't think we should.
No.
We have to edit so much of what I say all the time.
I don't cut out anything from the show. That's a fact. I never remove content.
It's true.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So of course you can find us every Monday at noon on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, a bunch of other, I don't know, look at our RSS, go to game-moose.com if you want to just listen to it on the website. Podcasts are a weird thing, man. I don't know. Look where you get your podcasts. Where do you get your podcasts from, Brock?
I don't listen to podcasts. I listen to sad emo shit all the time.
Dude, you like, this is our, you don't even listen to our own show?
No, I don't want to hear my voice. I'm like, that's a stupid joke I just made.
Yeah.
And that's a horribly offensive comment.
Yeah, we do say pretty awful things. Brynn, how about you? Where y'all get your podcast from?
I've got an app called Podcast Addict.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of now. Apple now has their own dedicated podcast app.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, excuse me. Google has their own dedicated podcast app.
Yes. Apple's had one for a long time.
Apple's had one for a long time.
Not great.
Yeah. It's not awesome, but I mean, at least you can reliably know that if you're on that service, if you're on what used to be known as iTunes and is now Apple Podcasts, you can get your shit there.
This is very weird without Ryan, Drew.
It is, because he usually keeps us on topic.
I don't remember the last time we just did it alone.
You're not doing it alone.
I mean, Brynn's here.
Brynn. Okay, sorry, yeah. Brynn's here, but still.
Yeah. So
Ryan keeps us on the rails.
Yeah, that's fair. So Brynn's here because Brynn's a guy on the show. He's a person who appears on a YouTube series called Newly Single Gamer. We posted all the episodes that have come out so far now to the Facebook page, and we tweeted out. Brynn, tell us about the show, man. What the hell is it?
I just wanted to make a YouTube show about video games, but I noticed that none of them that I've seen have any kind of narrative or character to them, and I thought it would be interesting to, do something where a guy feels things in addition to talking about the games that he's talking about.
We feel things, but the things we feel are, again, probably not suitable for like a wide audience.
Well, it's not that you don't feel things. It's like a lot of gaming content that I see, it's so focused on the game itself, and I never know anything about who the people are who are reviewing it.
Yeah.
Like I did a lot of research for this, but like I don't know what the guys at Game Explain do in their lives.
Yeah.
And I want to connect with, like, I don't give, like, if I'm going to listen to somebody talk about something, I want to know about them.
I love your show. I think it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
It's very,
I am
funny.
a very big fan.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a journey that the character goes on. I mean, because it tells like not to be too weird about it, but it tells like a universal story, right? Like everybody goes through heartbreak, and then a lot of us go through heartbreak and then experience that by way of like trying to escape to something. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And like, I love the idea that like somebody would try to get their life back on track after a breakup by starting a YouTube channel.
Gonna be rolling in the money.
I'll really be able to find some meaning in talking about Splatoon or whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm going through some shit, and I've just been playing Fortnite like fucking crazy. I've at least logged in 30 hours this week in the last 4 days.
That's
It's
great.
a lot of Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm actually really good now.
Yeah.
Like, I kill it.
Are you going to go pro?
That's what my goal is. Yeah. Watch out, Ninja.
Yeah.
As soon as I learn to build, I'll be good.
Like speaking of Ninja, so this is our next subject, and this is a good segue.
All right.
Because what's going on in like gamers' lives? Like you're right. We don't know. Like we try to talk about it a little bit, but not, but like slice of life shit, not like here is like a narrative. Everybody knows Ninja. He's like the biggest streamer in the world right now. He streams Fortnite. And like he streamed with Drake.
Okay.
This is how big this fucking asshole is. And he recently publicly said he will not stream with women. Yeah. And his reasoning is, and when he says he will not stream with women, it means he won't have women appear in his show or like as people like appearing either as guests or whatever, like either in person or virtually.
Okay.
I know. Bear with me here. So, Brock, are you been following the story?
Hell yeah.
You know, and Brock, what's his reasoning?
He wants to do it because he doesn't want to start rumors and ruin his marriage. Because people he thinks, if he streams the girl, will say that they're fucking. And he doesn't want that strain on his relationship. I get it. It's stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a wrong message.
Yeah.
Like,
I just feel like,
you
hey,
have one of the biggest platforms in the world. Bring on some women and help them out. Like, you know, and show that, like, you can be friends with a chick. You don't have to be fucking her to be in your friend.
how would that help to be like, I'm going to exclude women from what I do to help my marriage? It's like, I feel like my wife would really like it if I made a statement about how I don't want women around me. Like that, who does that help?
It's
like,
not good.
No, it's very, very bad optics.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's from a broader perspective, Ninja, y'all need help with your relationship. Because if you're at a state where just the notion of being with other women either frightens you or your partner, then there's obviously some level of like unhealthiness in your relationship.
Yeah.
If you have the kind of relationship where either you or your wife says like, no, like I don't want you to be alone with this. Like you couldn't go on like go see a movie with a female friend alone.
Yeah.
Because you might like touch genitals. Like
it's a Mike Pence kind of situation.
Mike Pence's website got hacked, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
did they put pictures of Ninja on it?
No, they put up a bunch of gay ads, like in his web banners, and then sold a bunch of white briefs, and then said fun facts about Mike Pence. Like Mike Pence is a human being. It's good.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that Ninja thing is, I agree. Like this guy is like, he has literally millions of people watch him, right? Like he could easily help out other people. And he's just like, no, I don't want people to think we're fucking. Here's how you stop rumors that two people are fucking. The rumor that I am having sex with this woman is not true. The end. You know? And does your partner believe that shit? That's fucking nuts, man. That's crazy to me.
I'd Bill Clinton it.
Yeah. I mean,
I did not have sexual relationship with that woman.
So wait, did he make the statement because like people were saying you don't have any women on your show, and he was like, this is why I haven't? Or is he saying I will not in the future? He just like decided that he needed to make that.
I'm not sure.
They asked him about it. He was doing an interview.
Yeah.
It came up.
But it's definitely, he said like, not now, not ever. I will never have women on my show. Yeah. It's problematic.
How old is he?
27, 28?
Yeah.
I think he's my age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ninja, I got some bad news for you. You're definitely getting divorced. If this is like how you approach, like if that's your level of emotional maturity and how you understand like marriage and relationships.
I mean, you know, that he could probably afford couples counseling with the money he's making from
the $8 million a month he's making or something stupid. It's fucking crazy. It might even be more. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, like he's, and it's just like everything, like any kind of platform gets stuck on like a superstar, and those people sort of get launched into the stratosphere and make like crazy amounts of money. You know, like PewDiePie and those guys. But like all you got to look to is like people like Jacksepticeye. Like Jacksepticeye is like a huge streamer on YouTube, and he got that bump because PewDiePie gave him that bump by like giving him a shout out, right? Like having that platform means that you can make or break people. And the reality is that if he were a broadcaster and he said, no, it's our policy that we don't hire women to like do the news or something, people would sue them. They'd be like, no, like this is a violation of like you know, like the human rights code. You can't do that, right? Though I'm sure these people aren't employees, but in that world, if you were to compare that to say like, you know, I discriminate against, because if he had said, even if his heart was in the right place, he said, oh, like I don't have black people on my stream because I don't want people to think that I am like I'm affiliated with the KKK. Like, but it has the opposite result.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks you're a shitty sexist asshole because you do this, not the other way around. So
this whole world like is so weird.
yeah.
I know that I'm probably not the first person to say so, but like I really only started researching this whole video game streaming and YouTube world a couple of months ago, and it's upsetting, and I don't care for it.
Me neither, man.
I'll just say
I've like backed out. It's weird. E3 was upsetting me.
Yeah, I mean, like as far as like the culture goes, it's not great.
It's a lot of misogyny, racism.
Yeah.
Crybabies.
Yeah.
I also just don't get why people like it. I understand podcasts because I can listen to them while I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
But the fact that you want me to also dedicate my eyes and ears to you talking is insane to me. That's why like the videos that I did are like less than 2 minutes long. The fact that like they're supposed to be upwards of like 20-30 minutes is like I truly don't get this.
Yeah.
It runs counter to everything that I've ever believed.
Yeah.
And but you know, I'm wrong. Like everyone loves it, but I truly don't understand.
I can't believe the guys out there on YouTube who spent 20 minutes opening a fucking box with one thing in it. You're like, wow, how did you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that sort of shit has kind of died down.
It's a lot of filler.
But like there's always the next thing. Like the big, like for a while the big thing was watching people eat food.
Oh my god.
ASMR is huge.
Yeah, ASMR is huge. But like
Huge.
I get making food because then you're learning something. You're learning a new skill or something.
Yeah.
But like watching someone eat something, that's really fucking weird.
Yeah, I gaming YouTube is really I did a deep dive into it when I was writing these videos, and I'm happy that I'm done with them. I like the guy who's got like a puppet that does it's so strange.
Onro or Omro, the blue puppet, right? Who talks only Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's cool that you found a niche, but it's like have a point, like like have a beginning, middle, end. You get your point across. It's
a lot of rambling.
Yeah.
A lot of rambling.
Well, I mean, and a lot of this stuff that we see in that kind of media, like people tell stories, right? They just don't do it very well usually, right? Like they, in the course of playing, I don't know, Metroid for 3 hours and you watching them, you go on some kind of journey with them, whatever it happens to be. It's usually them overcoming the challenge of the video game, but like sometimes they'll throw in their own slice of life stuff too.
That was my original idea for Newly Single Gamer, but it turned out to be way too logistically hard to figure out, was doing a let's play of a game while someone gets a phone call that their son has been kidnapped while they're playing the game.
It's
and then
like a Taken scenario?
Yeah, and they have to like deal with the kidnappers, and the FBI people come in, and everybody keeps playing the game in the apartment while they're figuring out this ransom case, but it was just impossible to actually pull.
That sounds very elaborate. I mean, I'd watch that though.
I pared it down to a sad guy.
I mean, we live in the world right now where like some of the big movies they're doing are like, there's like John Cho, his whole movie that's all like from the perspective of like a webcam and his browser windows and stuff like that.
That looks so bad.
And there's another one. There's like a horror movie. It's called like it's like The Dark Web or something like that, which also looks really bad. It's the same sort of thing where it's like a bunch of friends, and again, it's all told through like webcams and people like having like Skype chats and like, you know, and then like the spooky ghost monster also joins the Skype chat, and they're like, who's doing that? Who's the spooky ghost monster? Why is it all staticky? And then like people get kidnapped and stuff. Yeah, but like, why not use streaming as a medium to tell other stories? I mean, we could do that.
Yeah, it would be cool, but it's just like, I don't know, man. I've fundamentally come to believe that people truly do not care about personal relationships anymore, that they really only care about what is happening on the screen.
Yeah. Brynn, you've been doing this for a while. Like, you have definition of knowledge, which is you and your partner, and you guys do like
We do slam poetry.
Like,
Yeah.
is it really slam poetry?
Not according to the director of Toronto Poetry Slam.
Yes, who I told to eat my fat black pussy.
Yeah.
As a result of going to their show. It's a long story.
Okay.
So like definition of knowledge. Like you've been doing stuff on stage for a while.
Yeah.
Like have you done solo stand up as well?
I used to. It's a much better community now than it was when I did it about 12 years ago, and I really just didn't care for the community.
Yeah.
And it's a lot better now, but I just kind of don't want to start now.
Right. That's fair.
Just to start doing stand up again is it's a lot, and I don't want to do it.
Brock, you want to weigh in on this?
Do you do stand up?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's horribly depressing.
Yeah, it's a lot because you have to be out there every night, and it's really difficult. Do you do Absolute a lot, or
I haven't done Absolute. I've done Yuck Yucks in Second City, and I just did a festival
Which
2
one?
weeks ago. It was like a steam whistle one.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
It was weird. It was really weird. A dog bit my hand. That was the
Weird.
biggest laugh of the night. Didn't plan that one. I also got really drunk. It was weird. Yeah, it's just around. I have a hate-love thing for it.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I kind of feel like everybody who does as well. Like, and like, it's funny because it's another sort of scene that has a reputation for having a lot of like misogynist asshole men in it. I mean,
they kind of have been pushed out to an extent.
For the most part, except the Yuck Yucks.
Yeah, I mean, Yuck Yucks has got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I don't.
as like a chain that has how they do their
Yeah, they got a really scummy way of business.
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
They manage you and then take money from everything you ever do,
And
even if they don't book it.
But they're kind of the only people who can send you out of town
Yeah.
feasibly. Are you on Yucks?
Yeah, I did. I've done Yucks a few times.
But are you like signed
No,
with them?
no,
Okay.
no.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no.
Cool. Well, we'll have to talk about the mutual people that we know.
Yeah, all right.
So
List some names that no one will have heard of. Rob Bebenek.
No.
do you know our one mutual connection is Rhiannon?
Yep.
Yeah, Rhiannon Archer.
Okay.
Do you know Rhiannon Archer?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Not good with names.
Okay, that's fair. Anyway, moving on.
Nigel Grinstead.
Nigel Grinstead.
No, that's a great name.
That's a
though.
fucking dope
That is
name.
a great name. I assume he's British.
Yeah.
No, he's
Oh.
from I think Arnprior.
Where is that?
Just one of these little
it's like up
Ontario
north,
towns.
isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Does he wear a bow tie? I kind of
No.
feel
I feel like you'd wear a bow
certainly
tie and have
doesn't.
buck teeth.
if you name with
And
Nigel
a cool hat.
name like Nigel Grinstead, you'd have to have like a. I just am. I'm sorry. I hear the name Nigel and all I can think of Frasier. That's it. That's
I
the
didn't
only-
watch
He's a very non-Frasier guy. I'll say that. I'm
Interesting.
just trying to list stand-up comedians that I know that you may also know. Really engaging content. After complaining about YouTube content not being engaging enough, being like, here's
You know, it's the right context for everybody at home.
So
This is a weird show already.
it is. It is a weird show. We have to talk about something really, really awkward. Last week, Ryan and I talked about this, Brock, when you were in Vancouver, and you're back. So welcome back, by the way.
Oh yeah, I was away.
Yeah. And the Philip Mewson, who is the former IGN Nintendo editor, who was let go for, at the time, one instance of plagiarism. And we kind of said, well, we don't know how many of these things, like how many of the things he's done have been plagiarized. And then it had been dragged out. Just before we'd done the show, we talked about the two new things that had come out saying like people had accused him of when he was a YouTuber before he even joined IGN. So this guy's journey is he was a YouTuber and he was hired by the largest games journalism entity in the world, which is IGN. And he eventually made his way up to be like Nintendo editor. So he was the editor. He directly wrote and hired people to write reviews for Nintendo games. He was found to have plagiarized his review of Dead Cells from a YouTuber. The weird thing about that thing is that the YouTuber hadn't produced a written version of his review, and yet somehow he plagiarized it. So like he had it transcribed. He paid to have it transcribed, or he transcribed it himself. Then went to the trouble of altering it just like a tiny bit to make it seem as though it was his original work. But I mean, there were way too many. Like the wording was almost identical in some cases. He did not change enough. And as a result, people went back and looked at some of his previous stuff. And he even put out like a really tone deaf apology. Did you see, or apology,
he challenged people to find more of his plagiarism.
Guess what? It's all fucking plagiarized. IGN took down everything he did. People dug and they went around and they found basically instances where either he plagiarized whole or in part almost every single review he ever published on IGN. So IGN just nuked everything. He even plagiarized stuff from other IGN editors off of IGN's site on his articles.
He took Wikipedia articles, posted them in his own.
He did.
His LinkedIn was all copied and pasted from a template.
Yes. Wow. Like before we were like, I kind of feel bad for this guy. He got fired, but he fucked up and he needs to make good. He's done. He's done in this business. Like I said, oh, like he needs to take a break when I thought it was like maybe one or two things. He'll never work again. Never. Brynn, thoughts?
It's hard for me to like care.
Yeah.
One way or the other, I guess. Like, I mean, how is it like? There's just not that many ways to say like, I thought Mario was fun. or like, is it? I don't know. Like, it's bad. I agree. He shouldn't plagiarize, but at the same time, like, fuck it, man.
I can't believe he got away with it for so long.
That's great. Yeah. Anyone who's gaming a system and makes it work for them is
like someone at IGN must have like realized what was going on. Like, I just don't know why no one said anything till now.
Yeah.
It's weird that you wouldn't be like, hey, can I watch you write something? Or like,
I mean,
why do you keep pausing that YouTube video?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he worked in the office.
I don't even know if he played video games.
Well, I mean, at this point, we don't know.
I don't think he did.
That would be great.
Yeah,
I would.
He didn't play anything.
Yeah,
he never did. It was that was the great lie.
He'd just sell his games, copy them off YouTube.
Yeah,
because he clearly wasn't making enough money.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird, unethical stuff that happens in our side of the business. I mean, like, we are not. I mean, Brock and I, like, we stream and we write stuff on a webpage. Brock has his own website, Brock McLaughlin, Brockstar Gaming, and Brock McLaughlin. You go to brockmclaughlin.com, see what you find.
It used to be. And then I lost the domain. It got like hacked, and I lost it. And now it's like $1,000 to buy it, and I'm not paying that.
Well, that's why we don't own GameMoose.com. It's game-moose.com because someone's cyber squatting on it. But I'm not going to give them $1,000 just because they said so.
Right? I refused.
I mean, like, we're adults and we do this stuff. Like,
questionable. Questionable.
I don't know. But like, we're not influencers, even though they'd like to think that we are. It's a weird place to be in, but like, we know people that, and I was talking to a friend of mine who's a social media manager about this. Like, we know people that like use, like, that will run contests. They'll get hired by companies to run contests, and then they have like an army of Twitter bots to submit to enter into the contest, right? Like, in terms of like ethical things, that like unethical things that have happened, or like, we know that there's a huge problem where people will get free video game codes, review codes. They'll never play the game because they'll take the code and sell it on the internet immediately. Or if they'll get a physical copy, they'll sell it on the internet. And that makes our job so much harder because we're trying to be out there like, no, we're real people and we will play your game. And at worst, we will talk about it for at least half an hour in our show once a week, like.
And this guy just kind of, it's it's the same as like if a comedian is like out there stealing people's jokes. It's wrong.
Yeah. Especially like, this is big business, right?
That's true.
Like, dude made it big. I mean, this is like this is the equivalent of like, us finding out that not only did Dane Cook steal all his jokes from before, all his present jokes are also stolen, right? And everything, like selling out like huge stadiums and finding out that all this stuff has been plagiarized. Like, he had the biggest platform a games journalist could hope for. And
I guess it's like, the difference in comedy too is like, you could at least say, even if the guy didn't write it, he brought his own kind of energy. But I don't think reviewing a video game, you really bring that much of your energy to it in print, right?
Yeah.
On IGN, because like that's kind of like, so I don't think IGN is going to be looking for like Hunter S. Thompson style gonzo gaming journalism,
which is what we're trying to do. Like, to be fair, we're trying to. I don't know. I would hope that we're trying to elevate it. I had like a friend of the show, Jonathan Orr, who we work together, and he and I have been talking about sort of like the state of video games journalism and specifically reviews. And he asked me, he's like, when are we going to get our Ebert? Right. And it's like, when you get someone who's actually going to like, for him, the review itself is an art, is an act of expression. Right.
See, to me, I guess it's like video games are the last thing where I like don't want them that analyzed.
Yeah.
I guess I love the fact that I can just kind of turn it on and like just as far as I like it or I don't like it, or that was shitty or that didn't suck. And
Mario was good.
Mario was fun, and I like that, and so. But at the same time, like, yeah, you guys shouldn't plagiarize. Like, what do you think happens to him now? Like, does he just work a normal kind of day job now, or is he gonna still have Patreon people, or what's his?
I don't know if he has a Patreon. If he does, I'd be surprised. My suggestion last show was, hey, maybe lay low for a while. But at this point, I think like his name is mud in the games journalism circle. I don't know anyone who'd hire him. Like I don't know any conventional person who'd hire him. I don't know any PR marketing company that would do business with him. Like again, Brock, like you understand that world much better than I do. You've worked in both those sides of PR marketing. Like, if it were you and he called you up and said, hey man, so I'm moving on. It's been a couple of months. I'm starting up my own YouTube channel again. I'm just going to do something different. And like, I'd like your support.
He's done.
Yeah. You'd be like, no, gone. Thanks. We can't have your name associated with this.
I don't think he'll have any fans.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got anything going.
Yeah.
It's, he's goner.
I don't think Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, I don't think anyone's giving him the time of day.
No. He's done. He's going into the fast food industry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to retrain for something different. I don't think there's any coming back from this one.
Because gaming people kind of hold grudges against people.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, undoubtedly, but like, and so much of it is about perception, right? Like, once your name is done, you're done, right? Like, people don't like who's ever done something like really horrific in games has ever come back from that. I mean, PewDiePie managed to survive the whole weird Nazi shit. But like, to be fair, it wasn't his fan base who was talking about it, and he managed to pin it all on quote unquote conventional games journalism, or rather, or like the mainstream media. It was like no, like the mainstream media are the ones who are like criticizing me, and they don't understand how the YouTube world works, and like being a YouTuber is different, and they're just scared because they're going to die. Because like New York Times, I think, wrote something about it, and now he just goes after quote unquote the lamestream media.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a good look.
But he managed to survive that, but again, because his fans didn't care.
They don't care.
But ultimately,
they do not care.
In this case,
they're 10-year-old kids.
In this case, like this guy managed to piss off both communities. He managed to piss off like people who are consume conventional like video games journalism with like IGN, and also YouTubers. He pissed off Boomstick, and he ripped off things from like the NeoGAF forum. So like really intense, like very like super passionate fans. That's where they post. So like he's managed to anger every walk of video game life at this stage.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's no coming out of this.
I'd hire him.
Yeah.
He can write your jokes for you.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
This guy's fucking hilarious.
All right, I got a very, very original joke for you today.
What's the deal with airplane food?
Sweet.
It's a good
Sounds good, man. I don't like that food.
Ever flown business class?
I have.
Or like first class?
I got moved up.
You got moved. You got the bump.
I had the bump.
They so
like
we know they can serve you good food. They just choose not to.
Yeah. I actually had a pizza on my flight on Sunday. It was pretty dope.
Really?
It was actually pretty good. I did also order the noodles that I thought were going to be great. It was just a cup of noodle. It was gross, but the pizza fucked. I like that.
So like ramen, like instant ramen?
No, it was like instant camel noodle soup. It was gross.
Oh, that's no good.
No, it was bad.
Pizza sounds kind of smelly for a plane.
Yeah, I don't care. I enjoyed it. I don't care about anyone else. I had fucking 18 babies on that flight. It was brutal.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't believe you propagated that many children on one flight.
I know.
Good for you.
They call me daddy for a reason.
For some reason, apparently something about like because you're at higher elevations and the lower air pressure, smell doesn't travel as well.
Oh shit!
And so like one of the things that they try to serve foods that have like a stronger flavor because the taste that comes from a lot from your sense of smell as well. So like they have to tweak like a recipe for an airplane. They have to tweak it a little bit to make it more palatable. Otherwise, stuff might taste like cardboard when you're at 10,000 feet or whatever.
We've truly discovered the deal with airline food.
Yeah, that's the deal with airline food.
Oh.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right, so here's the fun part of the show. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. Broccoli.
Cool, I'll start.
Yeah, what have you been playing?
Other than my 30 hours of fucking Fortnite?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if that's the case, tell me about what's going on with Fortnite, because there have been some changes in Fortnite, right?
There's been some big changes. The rifts are down right now because people have been hacking them.
Ooh. Hacking the riffs.
Hacking the rifts.
This really is
That
some
sounds
fucking neuromancer-esque shit.
It's like a horrible 90s movie. Like a bunch of slackers who all share one big computer.
Yeah.
2 monitors.
They changed 50 versus 50 this week, and they added you can fly anywhere now. So if you jump up a cliff, you can fly, or you just build staircases up to the sky and then fly from them. It's honestly the most fun thing I've ever done in Fortnite.
Are you talking about with your glider thing?
Yeah, so you can glide anywhere.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's the fucking best. So I've been doing that a lot. I also played that new game from the people behind Zoink Games, the people behind SteamWorld Dig.
Yeah.
Flipping Death? Death Flipping?
Death Flipping?
Death Flipping Death? I don't know. Cool game. Really good. You like Night in the Woods. It's like a weird story-based like adventure puzzle game.
Right.
Great.
I mean, when we talk about like sort of like, I don't know, cerebral, like
What's the game?
like
I gotta figure out.
highly artistic video games, quote unquote, that aren't just like thrill a kill, MDK nonsense. I don't know even what that fucking phrase means. But like there's a whole side to that. It's funny because there's a whole bunch. It's very much like there are art house video games now, right? Like there's a whole side to video games that is that, and then like big video game fans, like especially like sort of like quote unquote mainstream video game fans, are like, no, I just want to play Doom, right? They're like Gone Home, which is a game that's really relatively well known for having not much of the game part of it. Like basically you just walk around and find things and then learn the narrative by like, oh, there's a note in the trash bin next to this desk. Oh, what does it say? Like, my mom kissing me when I sleep or something. It's got some weird story about like sexual abuse at the end. It's real heavy stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But then you got games like Night in the Woods, which is like a parable for communism.
I love that game so much.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. But this one, you like this chick. You're on your way to like Hot Topic or something.
Oh, yeah.
Something weird or something like a goth show.
Yeah.
And she falls down, or you're in a cemetery and she falls down a hole and dies. And then she takes over Death's position because Death wants to go on vacation.
Nice.
So you flip back and forth between the real world and hell and kill people. It's fun. And you get to like control people and like do weird shit. Yeah. It's like really kooky.
Sounds like a little like my so-called life a little bit.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm almost done it. Good little game. I played a lot of Rocket League too.
Oh yeah, good old Rocket League. You're taking that one out of the closet.
Yeah,
there.
Well, it's on Game Pass now.
Yeah.
And then I played Graveyard Keeper.
I really want to play that.
It is disappointing.
Oh.
Yeah.
So someone called it like a like macabre like Stardew Valley. A little bit.
It's Stardew Valley, but you build a graveyard instead of a farm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just needlessly complicated.
Oh, I don't like that.
The menu system is very bad. I do not know how it got through testing. It is not fun.
Huh.
Yes.
A lot of people talking about it. I kind of feel a little bit that way about there's a game I was talking about recently where basically you play like a shopkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
You are the shopkeeper in like Zelda essentially, where your job is you go into the dungeons at night when the adventurers are not there, kill monsters, collect shit, and make potions and stuff to sell. So it's half of the game is in the dungeon, and the other part is your shop. And are you setting your prices right? And as it turns out, that last part of it for me was really not fun. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to
sound fun. I know what game you're talking about too.
Yeah.
It looked all right. The art style was really cool.
Yeah, it was a really pretty
It was
looking
only
game.
a Steam game, right?
Yeah, but then like the actual like dungeon crawling part of it was the fun part, right? I just didn't want to have to then like sell my shit in a shop. So like
Of course, the part of the video game that's an adventure is more fun than the part where you're working a mundane job. Why would you want to do that?
where you're a retail manager, the most unforgiving job of all time. So the whole gameplay like hook there is you have like a table. You put things on the table and set the price, and then you walk in and you look at people's reactions. And if they look disappointed, you decrease the price to see if they'll buy it again. And if they're excited, you have to determine like if the price is too low. So you have to like find the exact right price that they'll be happy about that. Yeah,
that
I played
sounds
some
like
Dead Cells too, but it was really hard.
I really want to play Dead Cells. I haven't had a chance to play that yet.
I just want to say that your game sounds like something that they would use to train autistic people to like register people's like facial expressions so that they can know if someone's happy or sad and how to react.
How about you, Brynn? You playing anything these days?
Yeah, I got a Nintendo Switch a couple months ago.
Excellent.
I recently traded Mario v. Rabbids for Splatoon 2 with someone on Kijiji,
Ooh,
and it's the best trade I've ever made.
interesting.
Yeah,
I love Splatoon 2 so much.
it's so fun.
And I hated the first one. And the second one, I couldn't stop playing.
I am pretty hooked on it. It's
very
great.
addicting.
Yeah.
The games are so short. You're like, just one more round. And that turns into like 8 hours later.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have to like, again, it's everything that I want. Like, I don't care why these squids are shooting ink at each other. I don't need to follow a story. I don't need to
There's
listen to anyone
backstory
talk.
in that game.
Yeah.
Too. That game
I've
is
ignored it.
very strange.
Yeah.
I like to just pretend like that doesn't happen.
The whole like salmon people thing, that's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
The game is just really fun.
Yeah.
it's super fun. And yeah, that Rabbids game, everybody was telling me that it was good, but you guys like that game?
I liked it.
Oh man.
I like
I
like that kind of game, but I acknowledge that like I have the kind of neuroses that makes me want to play those kind of like squad based sort of strategy games where you got like a group of like 3 to like 7 people and you're kind of moving them around kind of like chess pieces and trying to make the best call on the board kind of thing. Like I like that kind of game.
Mhm.
I mean, I like I used to work for Games Workshop years ago, and like that's all they sell essentially are like strategy board games, right? But in the meat space, as it were.
I can't deal, especially those kind of strategy board games. Oh my god.
Like, I mean, in this case, we're talking about like Catan, but it's the same sort of idea where like you have a bunch of quote unquote troops, like you have your miniatures, and like you move them across the board, and they can only move so many inches in a turn, and then you're rolling dice to determine if they shoot and if they hurt people. So the same kind of idea that's just abstracted into a video game form, right? Where like the computer's doing all the math and dice rolls behind the scenes for you.
As soon as in a board game somebody's like, and here's the second type of card that you can draw, I'm like, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been playing Splatoon
Cool.
2. I just bought again on Kijiji bought the Crash Bandicoot trilogy from somebody, and they were like, these aren't as fun as I remembered them being. And
they're not fun at all.
And I was like, you know what? I bet you're wrong. And then I played it last night and was like, this is fucking bullshit.
Thank you.
It's
Shit. I was
like,
so stoked, and then Ryan had it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to totally play this. And after like 2 levels, I was like, I fucking hate this game.
It's cheap as,
Yeah.
I feel like all PS1 games were like lining up very difficult jumps and then not quite making them and then having to do that again for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just the fact that you can't see what you're coming at, so you have to like your reaction time is basically only in that very tiny window, and there's nothing you can do about that.
It was a very aggravating disappointment. I'm probably still gonna beat it, but yeah. And then Hollow Knight I played a bit recently, and that's a fun a fun time.
Hard as shit.
It's a bit goth for my taste, but
Yeah.
I've just decided to not read any of the things that they give you to read.
It's very spooky and black and white, and there's lots of bugs and stuff.
Yeah, you can tell that they really like Nightmare Before Christmas. The guys, you know, the kind of guy who thinks that movie's more than just okay.
Thank you, because that movie is not that good.
I have a deep hate for Tim Burton.
Me too. I think he's a hack.
I don't have a deep hate for him, but he's
after what he did to Planet of the Apes, he can never be forgiven. There's nothing
He
he
has
can do.
so many shitty movies in his.
you know what? I like Ed Wood. I
Ed
think
Wood's
that's a good movie.
I think that's maybe one of the few passable ones.
But that was one of his like early ones too.
Yeah.
I'll watch Big Fish because it's not typical Tim Burton at that stage, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, if you told me right now, you're like, hey, Drew, I can't believe this just happened. I just read this in the newspaper. It is verified 100%. It is a fact. Tim Burton himself been toiling away in the lab for the last 2 years, not working on movies, cured cancer. He's done it. And I look at you straight in the eye and say, I still won't forgive him for Planet of the Apes.
That's fair. That
Damn these dirty apes!
Those apes were bad.
It was real
How
bad.
are you going to put Mark Wahlberg in Planet of the Apes? What were you even thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. Franco was good in Franco Apes.
I mean, it's Franco, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
He has moments.
I mean, and to be fair, Franco Apes was not a lot of Franco.
No,
It was a pretty small role. He was only in
Yeah.
the first one too.
He's only in the first one, yeah. And they've since phased the Franco out. They've de-Francoed those movies.
Yeah, and then they got significantly better.
Yeah.
The second two are fucking awesome. The third one was unreal.
Yeah, I haven't seen the third one yet.
I like the first one better than the third one.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. The first one's there. Second, third, boom.
Because, I mean, the clever thing they did was they made it the monkey story.
Mhm.
Or, excuse me, apes. I don't
Yeah.
want to be,
Monkeys have tails and apes don't.
yeah.
Yeah, but now we learned something about animals.
Yeah.
We also learned that Walrus sucked his own dick.
Yeah, we didn't say that on air, but now
Oh.
we have.
Oh, we didn't. I thought
Yeah.
that's how we started the show.
No, I think
I'm confused.
that was before we started recording.
Oh, you can look that up on YouTube. There's a good video of a walrus in his little tank sucking his own dick, and then when people start watching him, he like turns away. It's pretty
Now, see, I
good.
thought
Don't
that'd be on
look at me.
Pornhub, but okay, YouTube, family content.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure the walrus is has the largest penis relative to his body size.
Oh, that makes sense from this video because it goes all the way up to his mouth. He's not really bending over.
Normally, we talk about video game characters' dicks. I'm glad we've been able to venture out a little bit.
What's your video game character dick? So you talk about
So the echidna. Are you familiar with the echidna?
the Knuckles.
So Knuckles is an echidna, but the echidna,
Is that a real thing?
an echidna? Yeah, it's like I can't remember what the class of it's similar to the platypus.
Okay.
It's an egg laying mammal. It has a long, thin snout and spines and a penis with 5 heads on it that,
Cool.
that all can ejaculate separately. Yeah.
Seems
Isn't
like
that,
a
isn't
waste.
it? Yeah. That's too much. Like, you only need one, really. I mean,
Yeah.
because, like, why the 5 tips? Like, if it's only one shaft, why the five tips? Like, what's going on there? Ducks have
Just to try it out, I guess.
Yeah. Ducks have a corkscrew-shaped penis. Who are we to judge? Nature is nature. They're on their own journey. Today I learned that elephants are extremely resistant to cancer.
That's good.
Yeah,
Lucky
good for
them,
elephants.
then.
Yeah, it's nuts.
They got a lot going for them.
Brynn, what's your history like with video games and video game consoles? Not dicks.
I did not think that's where you're going to go with that question.
Video games?
So, like, I mean, for me, I mean, I started playing in the mid '90s. You know, I got an NES and then a Super Nintendo, and so I was a Nintendo kid growing up. Like, how about you? Like, what was your journey? Did you ever take any long breaks?
I did take a very long break. Yes.
Yeah.
The whole thing, I guess, is wow. This is such a personal question. But
Tell me your life story
So,
as told through video games.
Okay, NES,
Yeah.
Genesis,
Oh fuck! You big mistake.
PS1.
Yeah.
I guess PS2, but not really that into it. And
Yeah.
then I skipped the generation after
So they were like PS3, GameCube, Xbox
360.
360. Yeah. Well, I have a 360 now that I just use for Netflix.
Right.
And now I have Switch.
Okay.
Games I stopped liking when they started doing things that like everyone else likes about them.
Right.
Like when they started to have stories and like worlds they tried to immerse you in, I was like, I don't care about this at all. Yeah. I've never played a game through where I haven't skipped all of the cutscenes.
Wow.
I
Holy
do
shit.
anytime that they're like any game that I can't also listen to a podcast to or like kind of half do something else while I'm playing it, I'm not into it.
Have you ever played it like an MMO or anything like that? Like like World of Warcraft or
no?
Those are popular podcast listening games because you can like famously, if you don't want like the only way you can absorb the story in those games essentially is by going out and finding it, right? Like you have to go and read pages and pages of shit of like text and notes and shit that you find on the ground so you can figure out what the fuck is going on. Otherwise you're just like, yeah, there's a goblin and he's got a chainsaw and I'm fine with that.
That's why like that Red Dead trailer.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it looks so good, but I think it looks terrible. The idea that like just to go from point A to B, I'm gonna have to listen to like political dialogue written for teens and like have people like pontificate about the nature of what America will become is like, fuck that. I want to just ride around. I want to punch the horse and ride around and like I don't want to listen to
Mr.
this.
Hands the horse.
That's not. I don't think they have a video game that does that.
Not yet.
Yeah.
The horse punching in the last Red Dead was probably the only good part of that game.
Yeah. Any game that lets you recreate a moment from Blazing Saddles, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
If you could like, I spent a lot of time just like parking the horse by a cliff and then getting off and punching it until it fell off.
Now, if only there were a video game where you could make your character shout the N-word, then we would complete that cycle. But I feel like that would be problematic.
Oh, that's not the new Call of Duty?
I mean,
make it easier for people. You know?
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. Like just make it an emote instead of just having to say it through your, so because Brynn, I don't like, again, like, do you have any exposure to like stuff like Call of Duty? And are you aware of their horrible reputations?
I just very intentionally have no interest. Like, that's why I was shocked that I liked Splatoon. And the reason that I do is that you're not allowed to talk to each other on there.
Yeah.
And if that option existed, I would just mute the TV. I've got no, like when Smash Bros comes out, like I'm going to play it with friends from home, but like, we're not going to talk to each other. It's like, I don't want to hear what anyone has to say.
Yeah. As it turns out, when you give a whole bunch of men in their mid to late teens to mid to late 20s the option to anonymously talk with one another in a competitive environment, it just turns into mostly racial slurs for some strange reason.
It makes sense.
Go figure.
I mean, like, I feel like that's an age where you just like really want to, or you don't recognize the privilege that you have because you feel like the world is against you no matter who you are.
Yeah.
And you want to like prove how edgy and smart you are. Like, I don't like if YouTube were around when I was a teen, who knows what kind of shit, like, especially because like when I don't know how old you guys are, but like when I was a teen, it was just accepted that like anyone that you talked to, any group you were in, someone was going to bring up that 9/11 was an inside job. And like that was just like what everybody wanted to talk about. And they're like, because it made you sound so smart.
Yeah.
So of course, like
Brynn, jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
What about Tower 7 though? The janitor who goes around and gives speeches now, but what he heard that day. Anyway, like I've heard it all because it's just what everybody wanted to talk about. Yeah. And like, of course, if you're only making friends through video games and there's social currency and wanting to be the edgiest, you're gonna say terrible shit.
Yeah.
I just don't want it in my house. Yeah. I don't need it.
Yeah. The benefit of like you get to have that experience with Splatoon. But it has a presentation that sort of denies that stuff, right? Because like part of that is like, yeah, I'm a badass soldier, and you know now I feel emboldened to not only through my anonymity, but through like the culture of like shooting dudes in the face. Now I can say the N-word whenever I want.
But also, like, the people who join the army don't say that kind of stuff.
I know,
because they have to get along with each other. But
yeah, like as it turns out, you're going to be stuck in a tent in the desert, shitting in the same hole with a whole bunch of people, regardless of their skin color, and you don't get to choose.
Yeah,
you know. And now it's regardless of their gender because they're pushing for that too, right? Or I guess they're not pushing, but trying to implement that.
Yeah, it's yeah. I the toxic online stuff is. It's also because like games have kind of like you can now just keep playing them forever. I feel like when I was a kid, it was like when you had a game over and you were out of continues, the game was like, that was the game telling you go outside. like you're not.
But now we have video games that literally tell you it's time to go outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There are games that will like take advantage of the fact that they log how much time you spend playing it and know, like via being connected to the internet, what the time of day is and what the weather is like. And so like I think Nintendo was doing this, was like, hey, you've been playing for too long, maybe go outside and like
Zelda does that, right? I think it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There's been a few that have been like, hey, you know, take a little break there, kiddo.
That's nice.
Get outside. Look for your father.
Yeah, look for your father. In some cases, it's just like splash screens where it's like, you know, kind of like the Dare, losers don't do drugs or winners don't use drugs thing. Where it's just like, you know, remember to get outside every once in a while, and then some of them it's like you're up you're up awfully late. Shouldn't you go to sleep? And then at that point, you're like, motherfucker, I work the night shift. Leave me the fuck alone.
Still, but I get it.
Yeah.
Because I like that approach. The video games for a long time have been taking the opposite approach, where they call games with boobs in them mature.
Yeah.
And then they log how much time you play and like make you display that to people.
Yeah.
And then they call like wasting a bunch of time to unlock stupid shit achievements.
Like, you have achieved nothing. Yeah. Fuck, man. Video games are weird. So the Switch is sort of like your first quote unquote modern console.
Yeah, it's great.
Did you have any desire to like, were there other consoles that maybe piqued your interest? And what was it about the Switch that was the thing that sort of won you over? Was it a matter of timing, or was there like features and stuff about the Switch? Because like the Switch is like Nintendo's renaissance, right?
Yeah.
The Wii U came and went, and people were like, "Nah, fuck that."
I was like that.
Okay, cool. That's fair.
The jump from PS2 to PS3 didn't seem huge at the time.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. It wasn't massive, especially like what we were getting late PS2 stuff, in terms of what we got like early PS3. That didn't seem like a huge change. And
same from like 3 to 4. Nothing seemed like, oh wow, like I need to get this. And also, again, like so many PS and Xbox exclusive games are like, you need to sit and watch a cutscene, and then you need to like learn like why. Like I don't give a shit why this guy is shooting everybody. Like there's no need to have your character in a video game have a motivation.
Yeah, I'm
going to do it no matter what. There's no cutscene that's going to convince me to not finish the level.
And the interesting thing about that is like, there's some games that have like as of late sort of embraced that, have gone sort of back to that, right? Like Doom is very much that, right? Doom, like I just started playing Doom again.
Shit up.
And it's just like, it was like, what's his like catchphrase is like smash, crush, kill or whatever. Like the Doom guy is just like, they've gone back and forth and tried to characterize him. And now it's just like, no, he's just like an unthinking demon slaying bastard. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the Switch. Cause I saw a lot of the games coming out were like, just put this on and like I don't need to, like I skipped all the cutscenes in Zelda and they're like, fine. I don't, they highlight what words you need to know when people are talking to you.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's great.
Yeah.
Mario, I don't need to care about this. Splatoon, I don't care about, like, it's just because I can straight up just play the games and not feel like I need to sink hours upon hours into this like narrative, blah, blah, blah kind of shit. Whereas all the other ones seem to really make me want to care about the games. And I truly just want them on for a couple hours and then to do something else.
I mean, that was always, because like early video games didn't necessarily have the tools to tell you like in-depth narratives in the way that they do now.
Yeah.
Right. So like you played Mario, and I remember even playing Mario as a kid. I was a bit more of a blank slate at the time, but I was still like, what the fuck is going on here? Well, there's turtle people and there's mushrooms and shit. And what? Like, there's a princess and you're a plumber. How the fuck is this game supposed to make any sense? And at a certain point, they just roll with it now. They're like, no, this is just the state of being. Mario isn't a human. I love that statement.
Yeah.
He's like, no, Mario is a Mario.
Yeah.
He's Mario. And this is the Mushroom Kingdom is the Mushroom Kingdom. Don't overthink it. Because when you do, that's when we get the Super Mario Brothers movie starring John Leguizamo.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we don't like
movie.
Yeah, the only one.
Great movie.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I bet it's got charm.
It's funny. I think it's great.
Maybe I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I do like that kind of early '90s. Let's just go nuts with it movie era, like a Cool World.
Oh god, yeah. Don't give Bakshi that much license to do anything because he's just gonna make a movie about an animator who wants to fuck his cartoons, as it turns out.
Yeah,
and then the weird thing, like that movie has just the weirdest. I mean, like it was a movie by an animator about an animator who wants to fuck a cartoon, but if he fucks the cartoon, the world will end. Right? Like, what was going on in that guy's head?
Yeah. See, I like that they gave a lot of people chances back then.
I went to go see that movie with my dad when I was in my early teens. Nice. That was real uncomfortable because I was like, yeah, like this looks like a great animated movie. I was like way into animation and stuff like that at the time, and the whole like incorporating stuff. And I really liked Gabriel Byrne. And then I went and saw that movie. I was a very progressive and I was very socially advanced early teen. And like sitting next to my dad and like after like, so it was a movie about a guy trying to fuck a cartoon. Should we talk about this or just go
great.
home? Yeah. We just went home. That was him. We never talked about it again.
You don't need to.
No, not really. Yeah.
I don't think there's any father-son time where you need to talk about wanting to fuck a cartoon.
No, not really. No. I mean, I imagine that like there's just like throngs of parents now that have walked in on their children, their young teenage male sons masturbating to hentai.
Here's a question about hentai.
Cool.
Okay, if you determined I've thought about this the other day for some reason because
no, there's a good reason.
Well, the reason is because it's become sometimes is a recommended category for me.
Yeah,
and I'm like, nothing should lead you this algorithm to believe that, but fine.
I have never Googled tentacle and vagina.
Nothing.
I'm missing out.
Yeah,
but this is just it. Is like if you decided, made a conscious decision that was the only porn you were going to watch for the period of a month, what would that do to you psychologically?
You turn out like me.
Yeah, is that your jam?
That's my jam, man. I think it's hilarious. I get up on weird shit.
Huh. I don't.
Okay.
Fair enough. No, I mean,
tentacle.
A lot of people like it.
How do you? I mean, do you ever think about if that's the case? Do these people ever think about translating those fantasies into real life?
Yes, 100%. You can buy all that shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can buy like a giant tentacle monster.
Yeah,
fucks you from.
Yeah,
I read because I've read about the guys who on Reddit just want the they have the cartoon wives.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The waifus.
Waifus. Yeah.
And there's whenever the question comes up of what would you do if they came to life, every answer involves crying.
Huh.
It's a weird.
There's this new thing we were watching it at work, and it's from Japan, of course, and it's this little thing you keep next to your bed. And inside there's an animated waifu, and you can talk to her, and she texts you during the day, and she acts like your real wife. She's like, "When are you coming home? I can't wait to see you," and stuff. And the ad is so depressing. At one point he looks up in this window and he sees this happy real couple, and he stares at them longingly and then goes home to her. And the whole time she's texting him being like, "Why'd you stop? Why aren't you home yet?" And I was like, "Wow, that sounds really fun." It looks great. So I'm going to order one. I think it's hilarious. And then they watch a movie, and she's eating popcorn, and they're both watching a movie together in bed. It was really weird and depressing. I liked it.
There's a thing. There was somebody just did a whole long news expose about people trying to make sex robots. Mm-hmm. There's that guy from Spain who made the robot. And there's the interview where he's sitting next to her, and he's she likes it when you grab her breast, and he grabs her boob, and she starts moaning or something.
Oh my god!
It's fuck. The world's a fucked up, crazy place, man.
Anyway, if you guys any listeners who want to take the month-long hentai only challenge, please do it and like message me to tell me what happened to you and like how it affected just the way you perceive other people in the world. I'm very much interested in like if it's like a line that once you cross you can't come back from. Just there's something about the fact that it exists that is I've never quite gotten used to.
Yeah.
And again, in researching sad guys and video games for this, this YouTube thing that I've been putting together, just a lot of stuff has come up that I didn't know existed. And yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it for our show.
What a weird episode.
Yeah.
Ryan's going to have turned it off like 28 minutes.
Do you think
Where is Ryan?
Ryan is playing World of Warcraft. No, he's in London. He streamed WoW all week. So you can check out he's archived them all on YouTube. So
that's cool, man. I can't believe people are still playing a 14-year-old video game. Yeah. It's fucking crazy
it's
to me.
It's changed a lot in 14 years.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
That would be very odd otherwise.
Well, people are still playing original Quake and loving it. I mean, QuakeCon was fucking bananas.
That's real weird.
Yeah.
This is real weird.
Yeah, so go to our YouTube channel or go to game-moves.com.
Ryan's been playing a lot of WoW.
Yeah, he loves WoW, though. I mean, that's his thing. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Destiny, too.
Oh, again. God, why?
Well, because the expansion's coming out. I'm actually excited for it.
Okay. You've been excited for all the other ones, and they've all sucked.
I know.
It's going to let you down, man.
I know.
It's going to let you down. It's going to be bad.
It's kind of like every Aerosmith.
Bungie bungles it all.
Yeah. Every time you get excited every time. Yeah. And you go and you're like, fuck, they still suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got so hyped on Destiny 2, and then I played it.
No good?
Not good.
Yeah.
Very boring experience.
Brock, what would you like to plug before the show ends?
Yeah, I'm going to be streaming with Xbox, playing Fortnite at Comic-Con or Fan Expo next week. Yes.
I will also be streaming at Fan Expo. I don't know what day.
With Xbox?
With Xbox.
Sweet.
So yeah, I'm going to take over for an hour or two. We're going to figure out what game we're going to play.
Cool.
We'll put the pieces together, but we've been talking about that too. So yeah. We'll be at Fan Expo, not for the whole day, but if you see us floating around, come say hi.
I'm going to be there all day. I'm going to be looking for
Are you going to go to every single day from Thursday to Sunday?
No, man. I go for like a day or two.
Yeah.
I look for some like cosplay chicks.
Yeah.
You know?
Take some photos. I'm going to take some photos.
Yeah. Find a wife.
Hey, take some photos. Tell them that if they want the photos, they can email you and give you
email address.
So like I'm a photographer, I'll send you the photos. Just email me or add me on Facebook.
Yeah. I've seen that people do that.
That's a good move. Interesting. I'm at T McMill on Twitter. You can go to game-moves.com. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, you can do that either on Google Play Podcasts or Apple Podcasts or Spreaker or the RSS or Player.fm and a million other fucking places that reproduce our RSS. So do that. Rate and review the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, do all those things. They all help us out a lot. We want to grow. We want to get big. Tell your fucking friends.
Yeah.
Brynn, how about you? Where can people find your shit?
Just look up Newly Single Gamer on YouTube. It's a YouTube series about a guy trying to get his life together by talking about video games. When does this come out? Monday. So the last episode of that for a little while will be coming out on Thursday. Where you get to meet the ex-girlfriend finally. So
Megan.
That'll be a real...
The whole Mega Man X, Megan my ex thing had me fucking howling.
So good.
That's
so good.
Yeah.
So just check that out on YouTube. There'll be some definition of knowledge stuff coming out soon, but we're taking a bit of a break on that. And then I'll probably be on streaming with one of these guys sometime.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Come to Fan Expo, man. We'll do some stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll bring you along.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that'll be funny. All right.
When is it?
Next weekend.
I don't know.
It's Labor Day weekend or some shit.
Sick, man.
Yeah. When we have details, we'll promote it more. We'll tweet about it and stuff like that. And Brynn, you're welcome to join us anytime. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For Brock McLaughlin, Brynn Pottie, I am Drew McMillan.
Find me making hentai porn online.
And we're out.